What's up, everybody? John from Old Ring Farm here. Thanks for joining us. Today's video, we're going to go through our hives. It has been a while since we treated them for mites, so we're just going to check and make sure everybody's doing good. Going to make sure they have proper stores for winter, and hopefully all is well.
This is the mean hive? I forget.
Yeah. This is the so-called mean hive.
Oh, bad bug.
It's a wasp.
How long ago did we stop feeding these bees?
It's been over a month. These guys are also notorious for their burr comb. See some right here too.
Yeah. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Can I show them?
These guys love making weird comb. And propolis. So you can see all around the edges there and down at the bottom. You see that line of orange stuff? Love making propolis. Which makes everything real nice and sticky.
Here we go, we're getting into some activity.
Yeah. So that's all honey. You can see the capping some of it off. So that's nice. No eggs or anything up here either, which is also nice.
Yeah, because that's what they're supposed to be doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, they could be laying eggs up here if they wanted to.
Right, because there's not a queen
There's
excluder.
no queen excluder, right. And then they got some burr comb down there, because this frame is now stuck. But again, so you can see they built all the comb along the bottom. Yeah, it's all looking good up here. Lots of honey stores. So that is good.
So you think we'll go down a box? Or are you gonna keep looking in the...
I think we'll take this off and we'll look down below.
Whew.
You know, for the hive named the mean hive,
Yeah,
they sure are not mean.
I think they were just startled that day.
Yeah. Oops. First day jitters.
We were jittery too.
I was very jittery.
Yeah, it was all first date nerves. Ooh. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we wanted to check and make sure they had enough stores for winter. That is...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they're going wild on this side with the comb, but this is... That's what we're looking for. That is a full deep frame of capped honey.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, so we're thinking goldenrod is what they're bringing in now, because we're noticing a lot of them coming in with real bright yellow pollen. So
We should look up one of those. Wow, holy guacamole.
yeah, so that is...
Oh my goodness. You ladies are going to be well fed this winter.
Yep.
So there's the mite treatment down there. I don't think we've shown.
Yeah, it's Formic Pro. They say to leave it in there. So we have left it in there.
Per instructions.
Yeah. And these coming frames is that. Let's see what's on this side. Alright, so you see all that? Look at all that pollen. That's got to be
Wow.
all that goldenrod.
That
It's-
is so cool. Can you tip it towards me a little? Oh, perfect. That is so cool.
He's at work.
So explain to me do they do something, what is pollen compared to honey?
I don't know. I think it's still food, and I believe pollen is what they use to make like bee bread and what they use to feed the brood. So it's like all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's feed for the babies, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments who can tell us exactly what pollen is used for. Who's that person? Who's that bee person that comments all the time?
We have a couple bee people who are very kind to comment on our videos.
So let us know, because we're amateurs, just doing our thing. And I'm sure Stan will text me after this video goes up. That's my beekeeping mentor. Shout out to Stan for all of his help this year. Made a big difference in our ability to do bees.
Doobies. Doobie doobie.
Alright, so this is...
Wow. Look at that.
So this is all looking very good.
So that's capped brood, right? The
Yep.
brown
Yep. Now, they do have a couple of
queen cells.
queen cells, but there's nothing in them. And I've seen eggs. I see larvae here.
Do you want to try to show me the larva?
So, that's before they get capped over, they are larvae.
Oh, they look weird.
Yeah, they're like little maggots.
Yeah, yucky.
Yucky. But good. That's what
Yeah,
we want to
good
see.
yucky.
Yeah, and then there's a whole other frame of capped brood in here. So I feel good. I think we can leave them alone and call that a success. If you ever notice your smoker running lean, you can always open the top.
Smoky. Woo.
Okay, sorry.
Had a little bit of fire. Okay, so swarm next.
Swarm next. So this is our caught swarm. So you'll see this is a little corroded on top. You got to be careful when you're using the acid because it'll do that. Formic Pro. Did I mention that? That's what we use for the mite treatment. I think.
Oh, nice coverage.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll need a little box.
No, they're okay. Don't want to have them spread out too thin.
Oh, okay.
But no, they're looking good. We obviously didn't do a video about treating our hives, but the important thing when you treat one, you have to treat them all, because otherwise it makes like no point. Because if you have bees with mites in here and they drift to another hive, it's just going to be an explosion all over again. So you have to do it. I think going forward, my beekeeping mentor Stan uses oxalic acid and hop guard, and I think those are much easier on the bees. I think they're a little bit more difficult to do, and I think that's what we're going to do in the future, but we'll see. Trouble getting a grip on that one.
Wow.
So that's
Spacked.
packed with honey.
Wow.
Okay, that's great. Got eggs and larvae and capped brood there. Plenty of capped brood there, and this is actually a really good example.
The circle.
Yeah, so what happens is they lay their eggs, the queen lays the eggs in here, and then you usually have a ring of pollen and honey around the outside. So then what happens is, you know, the center eggs start to hatch, and then you can see it just kind of goes like a ring out from there. So that's pretty cool. So they do seem a little bit agitated. You know, I had a robber screen on here before. I'm seeing a lot of flies and wasps. I'm wondering if I should put the robber screen back on. Not for the other hives, but maybe for the wasps.
But overall, we're still happy, right?
Yes.
Besides with their attitude?
Yeah, no. They seem a little bit agitated, which would normally make me a little bit nervous that they were not queen right. But since there's eggs and larvae and brood, you know, unless she died or flew away yesterday, I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
And this is the hive. Oops. That is usually our strongest.
And our nicest.
And our nicest. Honey in there.
Nice.
Capped honey on the other side.
And that's normal that they'd kind of start in the middle and work their way out.
I guess so. What they say a lot of times, and I'm sure what we're going to hear in the comments about the burr comb, is that the wax is not
thick enough.
Yeah, because what you're supposed to do is rub wax all over. But you know, in general,
I think that looks pretty good.
It does. All right, so it's interesting. It's all honey up here, and again, crazy burr comb. So that's good. You know, it'll be nice to see if we're able to use these boxes for honey supers next year.
Or if they'll have babies in them.
Or if they'll have eggs in them. And I was sort of thinking the other day that maybe what I'll try to do next year is, so right now the two on the outside are 2 deeps and 1 shallow, and there's 2 deeps worth of brood. I was wondering if maybe next year we'd consolidate this second deep to a medium, just so it's easier to go through.
How would you do that?
I don't know. There's just something going on in my head.
Well,
it just seems it's a lot of work to try to go through all these. And
will we try to split any of these next year?
Yeah, I think next year we will.
Are you gonna
hopefully?
Are you gonna look at the lower box?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That looks good.
Yeah. And there's fresh eggs in here. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see that.
I want to try.
So this is kind of a perfect example. So all of this is capped brood, so that's getting ready to be hatched anytime now. And then in the outside cells, you can see there's little eggs. So I don't know if you want to zoom in and get close, like those cells right there. Not sure if it's going to come across on screen.
How can you see eggs?
Well, I saw them before. It's hard to see.
Oh, the little grains of rice?
Little grains of rice.
Oh, I see them really good.
Okay, good. Cool.
Wow, so tiny.
Yeah, so tiny. So those are just laid. I wouldn't be surprised if the queen is
on that frame, maybe?
On here, or maybe on the next one.
Should we have a queen spotting mission?
No, that's alright. We'll leave them alone.
Look at how big that drone is.
Every time. But you can see, so there's a lot of differences between drones and workers. So you can see the drones are big and fat, just like that. They got a big
same girl
butt. It's a rounded butt.
Also same.
And their eyes are actually way different too.
Yeah, they are.
So you can see they're like big and bulbous, and they're on the tops of their heads, whereas the worker bees, I believe, are on the sides, because they can see kind of like 360. I might be making that up, but I do know that there's a big difference in the way that the drones see the world versus the workers. So, but it's pretty cool. Everything's looking good. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of John Does Bees. That was weird. So thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. Hope you, thought that was a wasp.
Brave.
So brave. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Please give us a like, leave this video a comment, let us know what you think, and as always, please subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.